Hey everyone! Well, we're here, we're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video, and for this video we will be talking about Scentsy. Scentsy is one that I really like talking about because for the most part when it comes to team calls or opportunity calls that at least we have reacted to here on the channel, they're very upfront with the recruitment aspect of MLMs and basically say, yeah, to make money, you have to recruit. So I definitely can respect that transparency. I don't like it, I don't agree with it, and I don't think that it's okay, but I can at least appreciate the fact that they are upfront with the fact that recruitment is extremely important if you want to make any money in an MLM. And before we get started into the react, I always like to just have a refresher of what the income disclosure statement looks like. Alright, so this is Scentsy's 2021 income disclosure statement. I have to be honest, I don't like the way that they lay it out. I don't know what it is about it that I don't like, I guess because like you can't really see the percentages for each rank. It's just kind of lumped into groups. So the people who are in group 1 are people who were in Scentsy for all of 2021, so joined previously to 2021, and then group 2 is people who joined within the year 2021, so like February or July, so anyone who was in Scentsy for less than 12 months. So I guess either way, looking at these, the numbers are all over the place. It says for group 1, there are 59,000 consultants, and group 2, it was 152,000 consultants, so 152,000 people who signed up. And I'm just going to look at the median annual commissions because that is the best way to look at it, because they, any average, it's still not great, but median, it gets rid of the outliers. And so median annual commissions of people who were in Scentsy for the whole year of 2021, median annual income was a little over $1,000. And again, that doesn't count taxes or, buying the kits or buying any extra wax bars that they needed or Scentsy buddies or room sprays or whatever it is. So they median averaged $1,000 in an entire year. That's nothing. And then we look at group 2, people who joined within the year 2021, and their median annual commissions were $152. $152. That to me is not life-changing money. In both of these groups, you can easily make way more working a part-time job. I feel like you could even make more just working 2 days a week every week for 52 weeks than you would working Scentsy for the entire year. So I think that really, really says something. So if you guys liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really like it, please subscribe. Make sure to check out my description below for all my fun links. I have links to my Patreon, my channel members, which are just ways to help support the channel further, links to my social medias, links to my anti-MLM playlist, which has over 150 videos, and I also have an email where you can send content to if you ever run across it in the wild and you'd like to see me react to it either in a top fails video or a standalone video as its own. And with all of that said, let's get started.
For those of you guys that are here from the Party Crew United, you guys already know that we are working this month on the Grow for the No challenge. And we did put a little tracker up there for you guys. For those that are watching on YouTube, you can find a tracker almost anywhere. I think we even Googled Go for the No challenge and got a tracker. I myself, I don't use a tracker. I actually use my notes in my phone. So however you guys want to do it, if you want to use a calendar, it's totally up to you. I don't care how you do it as long as you're doing it. It makes me happy. So you can read more about the challenge, but basically it's just talking to 100 people. So for those of you guys that this month want to recruit 1 to 2 people, you're going to want to fill that sheet halfway and you're going to want to talk to at least 50 people about the joint opportunity. If you want to recruit 2 or more, then you're going to want to talk to at least 100 people in the month. Now, that seems like a lot.
Because it is. Those are terrible odds. If you want to recruit 1 to 2 people, you have to talk to 50 people. 50. and then you might, that's still a might, get a yes once or twice in there. Maybe. And then to go for double that to get maybe one more person. So a 3% yes rate, and that's again with an asterisk. Horrible. Those are terrible percentages. And I guess that makes sense looking at the income disclosure statement that nobody makes money because nobody's saying yes. Again, with Scentsy, I do feel like they have a more unique product that like people would enjoy, and you know, people like changing out their scents, or you know, putting out holiday wax warmers and putting, you know, certain ones in bathrooms for decoration. They have a decently good product that I think people like. But like I said in the beginning, Scentsy so heavily is like, yeah, recruitment is the way to make money, which I believe. I mean, it's an MLM. But it's just sad that like they actually have a product that I think people like and use, and yet here we are only caring about talking to 100 people to get them to join the business side of it, not talk to 100 people and get them to buy a bar or a scent warmer or a spray or something. Like that would be one thing, but to be like, talk to 100 people and get 3 of them to sign up for the business.
I'm going to go through some things to break it down so that you guys see it's totally attainable. And also we're going to be breaking it down, remember, into daily and weekly goals so that you're not like at the end.
Yeah, I get it. When you break it down, you say you only need to talk to like 2 people a day, you know, find 2 random people a day. But again, you start with 2 and then another 2. But then the 2 who you were previously talking to, you have to keep up conversation with them. And then now you have 4 people you have to keep up conversations with, 6, and it goes on and on and on from there. It's talking to a lot of people, keeping up with a lot of conversations, and then each day adding more new people and more conversations to, you're already starting to grow a busy work schedule, because you should also be trying to sell the product, I would hope. But yeah, it may seem easy when you break down. It's like, it's just 5 people a day. It's like, yeah, but you still have to talk to the other people that you were talking to.
The month, like, oh my gosh, I didn't talk to anybody, I have to talk to 100 people and overwhelmed, and then you won't do anything at all. I don't want you to do that. So I hope you guys are having an awesome day. The weekend's coming soon. I know a lot of you guys are working your 9-to-5s and you're excited for the weekend. Some of you guys are even you know, working towards this fall being able to leave your 9-to-5 jobs and work Scentsy full time, and that's amazing. So I'm so glad to have you guys here. I want to start by going over something I go over a lot, but I wanted to brush on it real quick. Why sponsor? So my best answer to you is we are all here as a business, right? We're all here to make some money, some discounts, and have some fun and grow with some friends along the way. So the best example I can give you why to sponsor is to start out by letting you know what your average team bonuses are. The larger your team grows, of course, the better your bonuses. So I like to give people these numbers to give them I
mean, again, she's not wrong. The larger your team is, the larger your team bonuses. It's not like the whole team gets it. No, you get that. So the more people you have underneath you, the larger your team bonus is that only you get, even though they did a lot of hard work. But again, at least Scentsy's upfront about it.
Realistic view, and also to let you know in the beginning it might start out small, but it can, the impact, the things that you're knowing now can impact those really small bonuses to get really big in the future. And you might think that director or star director is so far away, or maybe you just joined and you're like, what is director? And you know, it seems so far away, but there have been people to hit director in 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. It's up to you. You know, it has to do with how many people you talk to about the joint opportunity.
It's about how many people say yes. It's not even about how many people you talk to. It's about how many people say yes. You could be talking to 100 people a day, and if none of them say yes, you may be putting in hours and hours and hours of work, but if nobody signs up underneath you, you can't rank up, you can't get team bonuses. So tell me again how it's all about the individual and not about it's about downline saying yes. It's about everybody outside of your control. You need to control them and make them say yes, but you can't control other people. But in MLMs, they really think that you can, which is very interesting.
And how fast your team grows, really. So as a lead consultant, usually you're looking at around $50 to $100 in bonuses. So I remember being lead consultant and I remember being like, this is it. Like, I worked hard and, this is it. And then I started to, realize that, okay, well, nobody on my team was really working like I was. So somebody told me that, you need to keep recruiting every month to do that. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to listen to whatever people tell me, that if they're having success, then I'm going to listen to them, right?
The fact that the person's advice for making more money was you have to keep recruiting, not you have to keep selling. Red flag.
So I went up to Star Consultant, and I remember seeing $100 to $300, average bonuses. And I started to see, okay, like, this is kind of cool, like, I can use the bonuses to pay my, this wasn't my full paycheck, but just, bonuses off a team. I was like, this is awesome. I used part of the bonuses to give back. And then some of the bonus, of course, I kept for myself, and I paid bills. So Superstar Consultant is really when I started to see the big picture, though. Superstar Consultant, when I was selling $2,000 a month, and I was recruiting consistently at Superstar Consultant, and then I started to see the team bonuses go from 300 to 500 average, and I thought, oh wow, okay, like, this is really, I can really see where you can make full-time income. That's when I really started to see, okay, and I wanted to get paid a title at Superstar Consultant and keep moving forward, because I wanted to keep seeing those bonuses grow. So by director, usually you're looking at, you're making 1,000 or more in bonuses off of your team, and that's when you're really starting to be like, most directors, they're making about $20,000 to $30,000 a year. So that's when you really start to see, like, as a new director, how this could go forward if you keep growing and you don't stop. So then when for me, 30,000 is not enough. I needed more of an income to replace my full-time income, because I was used to making, around 75,000 a year. So I really needed to replace, that kind of income. So I kept moving forward, and as Star Director, then I started to notice that my team bonuses went up even more, from 1,000 to like 3,000 to 5,000, and I was in that 30,000 to 75,000 range for my salary. And then Superstar Director, you go from 75,000 up. So right now, I'm sitting at 6 figures, and I'm working on that. I'm working to go forward. And guys, I can tell you that my job is never done. I'm never going to stop sponsoring. I'm never going to stop growing, because I've seen people that go stop, and they never get ahead, and I didn't want that for my own business. So I've always remained very consistent in what I do. Now, will there be months that you're, 1 or 2 months here or there where you're dealing with something, and maybe your PRV falls back, or maybe you're not sponsoring like you want to, and that's okay. I'm not talking about that, but you definitely don't want it to go longer than a month or two. So that kind of shows you why sponsor. Why should you sponsor, right?
To make money. That's what I got from that. Why recruit? So that you actually can make money that would be life-changing income, that would make it to where you could leave your job. But, and she made it seem like they dumb it down so much. You just keep sponsoring. You just keep, talking to people each and every month, and all of a sudden those bonuses will be crazy. It really sounds simple, doesn't it? In the most basic aspect of talk to people, ask person if they want to join, person says yes, you make more money. But it's way more complicated than that, because you not only need somebody to say yes, you need them to stay, and you need them to also get people underneath them. So it's a lot of working, moving parts that need to stay within the certain shape, and they can't leave, otherwise you drop rank, because again, apparently that's your fault, even though other people left because they didn't want to do it, they weren't seeing money, they couldn't, make this work for 5+ years in order to see maybe something. So yeah, it always sounds simple, but it's not simple.
And the people I sponsor are my best customers, my best hostesses, and people are like, oh my gosh, that makes me nervous, because what about my PRV? My answer to them is, there's people turning 18 every day. Your chance to meet new people and to gain new customers is so great that if you are doing that.
That is such a toxic way to think, and such a such a recruiter way to think, like such a recruiter salesy mindset, that people are turning 18 every day. You can ruin so many people's lives early on. Aren't we lucky? I don't mean to laugh because that's horrible, but it's like, it's such a ridiculous statement to say that, like, I just can't believe that they say these things. People are turning 18 every day. Really? That's your advice? People are turning 18 every day. We have potential recruits all the time. It's not a big deal. Gross. Ew. I don't like that.
You will not notice the fall of recruiting. I just recruited one of my best customers this morning, and I'm excited for it because I know from experience that she is going to bring all of her friends and family to order under her, and the value of my paycheck goes up. So if you're afraid of that, don't be afraid of that. Please don't be afraid of that, because it is the wrong way of thinking. We want to share this opportunity to everybody, especially our best customers and hostesses, because they make the
I absolutely can understand people like thinking this person, like my friend and my mom, are, buying a couple $100s a month from me, and now you want me to turn them into competition. Like, that logic, I could definitely understand how people would be confused. They're like, why would I turn really good customers when I'm getting, I think it's 15% commission in Scentsy. I get them all mixed up all the time. I need to like make a chart and like have it like right here so I can be like, Scentsy, which one is it? Like, but yeah, I think they get 15% commission, maybe 25. I can't remember, somewhere in between there. But it's like, I'm getting consistent 15% commission from my mom, my sister, my best friend, my other friends. Why would I turn these people into competition? And it's like, well, because we need to offer the opportunity to other people. And then they can get their friends and family to buy from them. And then you get, commission from their sales instead of like them just coming to you and you getting 15% from them. So in that aspect, I totally understand when people would be like, why would I do that? But it's like they twist it, blah, 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 whatever, so that they turn into recruits instead of customers.
best consultants, right? Okay, so let's go into how. So first, show up daily, show up weekly. Some of you guys, a lot of you guys work full-time jobs. A lot of our directors and above work full-time jobs. So when I say show up daily, it could be 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at your lunch break, 30 minutes at night after the kids go to bed. It doesn't have to be all at once, but I always make sure every week to do these things. Personal development is huge. Reading books, watching podcasts, making sure that I'm connecting with people that have succeeded to fill my cup, to give me
the brainwashing technique. You can call it personal development. I call it brainwashing because it's like, they'll tell you to read these books, and the books are telling you how you can be successful if you just keep going, you just stay within, never quit. And then podcasts of people who are either in MLMs or just motivational speakers who are just telling you to keep going with what you're doing because you were put on this path for some wonderful reason, so don't quit, because if you quit, then maybe tomorrow would have been your most successful day. And so it's just a way to keep people within the MLM, keep that positive mindset. It's always about the positive mindset. Don't ever think negatively, because that's reality. If you start thinking about how you're not making money or losing money, yeah, that's bad for the person who recruited you and their upline, but it's good for you, but they never want you to think about that.
energy, because guys, there are some mornings when, let's be real, you roll out of bed and you're like, for real, I don't even feel like facing anybody today. I don't even feel like doing anything today. Yesterday, I had 2 people tell me that they did not want to join my team. I had somebody join under somebody else, and you wake up and you're like, So I understand those days, and you know what the best thing I could do for myself is to get my head on right. And I go in, I brush my teeth, and while I'm working out or while I'm, getting ready for the day and eating breakfast, I'm listening to personal development in my Audible book, or I'm listening to a Mel Robbins podcast to get my head in the right place, right? I show up to team meetings. So for you guys, block party every month, power hour every week, showing up to these live trainings. Give yourself a shout out because you just showed up. And when you
coming to things like this counts as you care about your business. But again, they're taking time out of their day, away from their family, away from whatever, to watch these things, to get them motivated to, really go for it and really do it and get them to be like, you can do it, I know you can, and it's really simple. Just talk to as many people as humanly possible.
Show up, you go up, you grow. Of course, we talked about PRV and sponsoring. These are things we have to do to move forward. Cheering on your team, and then be active here on the team page. So you guys go cheer someone else on for their success, because they will in turn probably come and cheer you on when you're having success, and that's how it works. So let's talk about sponsoring. Let's talk about where we're going to meet these people real quick. So where do I meet people? So first, the people that I'm sponsoring are usually from my follow-ups. So I am really good at customer follow-ups and keeping in contact with people. And I simply ask them some things that I'm going to tell you here in a second. So follow-ups, I meet people, new people at online parties, at craft show events. I'm always meeting new people and finding ways to get in touch with them. So I always get their phone number or find them on social media. Referrals. I just had somebody last month send me somebody that wanted to join. So they were a great customer of mine, and somebody mentioned to them they wanted to join Scentsy, and they're like, I've got the perfect person for you, right? So they sent them to me. And then a very small percentage is posting and sharing, but I'm very consistent with it. So posting about your lifestyle, posting why you love Scentsy, posting how you get your work done, so flexible anytime you need to, and then posting about the joint specials and sharing that. Those things can lead to success too. That's only the icing on the cake though. Posting is not. It is a very small way. Matter of fact, posting does not count. So when you print out your sheet and you say,
interesting, so sharing about your life, posting on social media, just being an influencer or sharing about products that you love, and people will just flock to you and want to see what you're doing. Very small portion, you probably won't get anything, and actually posting doesn't count, but it does show that you are consistent and you are dedicated to this MLM. Ah, I see. Again, Scentsy with the accuracy and the truth, but it's all for bad reasons. It's all for, they make it seem one way when in reality it's another. And I get that, people will be like, well, in my MLM it's different. No, it's not. It's all the same. You're all the same. All of them. Again, strip away the name. All MLMs are the same.
Talk to 100 people. That is back and forth conversation that you've had with people. It is not a mass message. It is not a post. It's none of that. It has to be a back and back conversation. They have had to answer you back, and you guys talk about the joint opportunity. And don't get discouraged. So a lot of you guys are only asking people that you're comfortable with asking because you're afraid of rejection. You're afraid to hear that no, okay? And this is what we need to push forward. And here's some wording that I use that you guys can use. So I always say to people in maybe a follow-up message or just a, whatever, if somebody likes one of my posts, I might message them if they like a post that I said something about joining, and I might say, hey, have you ever thought about doing what I do? You'd be really great at this. I also say, hey, do you know someone that would be interested in doing what I do, because I'm looking for someone in your area. I'm always looking for people in the area because there's never a saturation anywhere. I've never in my 10 years found anywhere to be saturated with Scentsy consultants.
I can promise you that when my husband was in the military, it was absolutely oversaturated with a lot of MLMs, but Scentsy was huge in the military wife, military mom space. Like, Scentsy was everywhere.
You can even check that by going on to Scentsy.com right now, putting in your zip code, and seeing how many actively building Scentsy consultants are in your area. These are people that are hitting lead consultants.
Interesting that she said actively building, not see how many Scentsy consultants are in your area. Like, no, the people who are actually trying, like, those are the people we care about. People who are just selling, ew, gross.
Every month and are on the locator around in your area. Guys, you're not going to find more than 10, most of you. Do you realize that in most cities, when I started in a small town, a super small town, like we're talking like 4 stoplight town, that there were like 30 some consultants there, and I still had success. You know why? Out of those 30, only 3 are really working their business like you and I, okay? And you know what? I set myself aside. People knew when they thought of Scentsy, I was the person they came to when they wanted to join. I'm the person they came to when they wanted to, if people don't know you're selling Scentsy, how are they going to know they can join under you? What are you doing to get your name out there? So let's talk about why you're not sponsoring, most of you. So the problem is you're not moving from thought to action. So you have this thought that you want to do this, you want to do so much, you want Scentsy to be this amazing thing, but you don't create action on it or enough action on it to provide results. That is why this month we are talking about 50 to 100 no's, because I want you to see how many people. You can't just talk to 5 or 10 people and think you're going to, now you might recruit from doing that, and that's amazing. But overall numbers, statistics is what's going to get you to recruit more people. The other thing that a lot of people think is like confident people are born that way. Like people look at me and they're like, oh, you're so confident, and you're outgoing. It must be part of your personality. Confidence is not part of a personality. Confidence begins by taking action. When you guys take action on things and you guys not only see results in the end, but even if you don't see results, you learn from the things you're doing, you learn from your failures. Confidence comes back to you in that form. You become more confident as you go. You weren't born confident. You learn to be confident. You grow to be confident. It's not part of your personality. So practice makes perfect. So that's another reason why we're doing Grow for the No, because the more people that you start talking to, the more comfortable you're going to be with the wording. Like I said, hey, have you thought about doing what I do? You're going to become more comfortable, and you're going to realize I made this way harder than it really is. And you're going to start like coming to me saying, oh my gosh, I'm using that simple wording that you're using. I'm not overly word vomiting about when somebody says back to me, yeah, I would like to join Scentsy. I am not over word vomiting to them, oh my gosh, you have to know about everything in the world. No. I tell them the basics. I tell them that they want to hit for their shooting star and certified in their first month. Their website is free for 3 months. After that, it's 15. What is in their kit? You're answering their questions. Don't feel like you have to have all the answers either, because guess what? We're here on the team page to help. Your sponsor can help, your director can help, your superstar director can help. We can help you with those answers. So don't think you have to have all the answers to sponsor. Sponsoring helped me learn. I sponsored right from the beginning. My first month was Scentsy, and I tell you, because of that, it helped me learn. Okay? It helped me learn along with them. So
I can understand the trial and error aspect of this, but I just feel like it would be so much better to like learn the ins and outs of the business, like focus on selling, and then again, if you have to, start recruiting. But like, wouldn't you want to come with the confidence of what you're doing in the business instead of just like day one and people have questions and you don't have the answer, so you have to go to somebody else, but you claim this is your business and that this is something that like is all yours, but yet you have to keep going to somebody else for all the answers? I just feel it would be so much better if the individual had all of the knowledge and information, because if a potential recruit has a question and then they go to their upline and the upline doesn't answer them right away, and maybe they ask a different upline and they don't answer them, and the person's just like waiting for an answer, you're like, oh, this looks kind of bad, or, I was all of a sudden going back and forth and then I stopped because I didn't know a question or an answer to a question. I just think it's good to have all the knowledge when you are going to people trying to change their lives with this great opportunity. It's a good thing to have all the information and not just start spouting nonsense.
To know everything. Guys, I still don't.
To be fair, it's all nonsense.
Everything, and I'll admit to you all the time, like, I don't know the answer to that. I really don't. And you don't have to, okay? Let's talk a little bit about rejection and what you say back. So if somebody says, oh my gosh, I just don't have enough time, I always say, I totally understand. Scentsy's actually perfect for people that are on the go and really busy, because it's so flexible. You can work it with whatever time you have. 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here, people will say, I'm not a salesperson, I'm really not good at that. I'll say, you know what, I understand you might have hosted a party in the past. Hosting is a lot different. I think hosting is a lot more work than being a consultant sometimes. That's why I love my hostesses so much and I appreciate them. So I say back to that person, you don't have to be a salesperson. You don't have to be good at this. You just have to love the product and see value in the product and the opportunity. And then
No, you have to be a salesperson. It is a sales job. At the core of it, it is a sales job. You are not only trying to sell the products to people, you are trying to sell an opportunity to people. No, and this whole, like, as long as you love the product and the opportunity, then it's easy. I've said this, you guys agree with me. I love plenty of things. I could not sell it to you. It is a totally different thing. If you're not good at selling things, then you're not meant for a sales job. And this is a sales job.
everything else falls into place. I don't want you to be a salesy, car salesy type of person, because Scentsy's about making friendships and sharing. It's not about being a shark and going out there and making a sale all the time. So if somebody comes to me and says, oh, there's so many Scentsy consultants in my area, easy, I talked about that before. I just go on Scentsy.com and look up how many lead consultants actively growing people there are in their area, and help them realize just because you see a sticker on somebody's car doesn't mean that they're selling a ton of Scentsy. You can have, in our small town, we had 5 of us selling $2,000 to $4,000 a month, and we lived within a 5-mile radius of each other. There's plenty of people online. You don't even have to sell to people in your own town. I don't even sell to people here. I sell all online for all around the country. Different people that I've met on groups and stuff like that. So that's another thing I need to go back to. Where did I meet? Where did I meet people? So that's another great way, and I do have that in my YouTube videos. I do talk about that all the time, how I go into groups and online, and I go to make friends with people and build my network that way.
You're not going to make friends, you're going to make money. But it's definitely misleading when you use the word friendship, when your whole point of going and talking to people is so that they either spend money on some sort of product so you get a commission, or they join underneath you so that you also get commission from them. So it's friendship with an aspect. It's not really a friendship if your whole plan is to just make money off of them.
Too, and also joining like Chamber of Commerce events and things like that. I love that because I love going out. I get great referrals from those things. So there are just some other ideas. If you guys don't take action this month, you are going to fail. Guaranteed. So I know a lot of you are afraid of failure, so am I. Like, nobody wants to fail, but the thing is you're guaranteed to fail if you don't try. I
mean, I guess, yes, if you're not doing something, if you're not actively working towards something, then you can't be successful in it. But the thing is that the MLM business structure is designed for people to fail, but you're making it on them that if they don't do stuff that they are going to fail. And even if they do talk to a bunch of people and they never get a yes, then they will still feel like they failed, even though it's not them, it's the structure.
Really urge you guys to go out there and maybe put a reminder on your phone, or wear bracelets. I read that in a book. If you wear like 5 bangle bracelets, if your goal is to talk to 5 people a day about joining, wear 5 and you can't go to bed until all of them are off, because every time you take one off, that means you've had a join conversation with someone.
Remember, they want conversation, so like a back and forth. Like, it's not just like you sent 5 messages before bed. They want you to have like conversations with these people before bed. So you could send 5, and if 5 don't answer, you have to do it to 5 more and keep going. I mean, I'd be like, don't tell me when I can't go to bed.
And my other thing too is, what are you telling yourself? So if you're telling yourself you're a bad recruiter, or you're not good at this, or you're not good at that, you're not going to be. So really, we talked about this before with looking in the mirror in the mornings and saying, you know what? I'm good at this. I can be good at this. Maybe I haven't had the results yet, but next week I will, or next month I will. And that brings me to another thing.
Interesting that she said next month I will, so it keeps them around for another month.
You guys, so it's kind of like we're mining, or we're planting seeds, right? So when you plant a seed, you don't grow up you don't get up the next day and you're like, oh, is my plant grown? No, that's how mentioning the joint opportunity is. You have to follow up with people sometimes, and you have to nurture that seed, and you have to be patient with it and water it, and then it will grow. So don't think that you're going to ask people for a week or even a month. The things you do this month might overturn into next month, and your success might be then, but you have to keep going because you will see success. The other thing is, who are you surrounding yourself with, guys? Who are you surrounding yourself with? Do they believe in you? Are you surrounding yourself with accountability partners that
people around you have to be so positive, and they have to be uplifting, and they have to be cheering you on every second of the day. You have to never have anyone tell you the truth because they're wrong. Sorry, it's not truth. It's all fake, and we're not a pyramid scheme.
cheer you on and that are pushing for what you're pushing for or pushing more, okay? Because that's the type of people that you need in your circle if you're going to succeed. You have to, I surround myself with people that want better, that want more, that push me and push themselves. And if I'm having a bad day, they're having a good day, and if they're having good, vice versa, and we help each other out. So who are you surrounding yourself in your circles? You can be going through a lot and still have success with this business. I'm a prime example. I've been through, I think, everything in the book, health problems and death and, all kinds of things. And at the end of the day, if you still take action, just little bits of action, even consistently, even when you're dealing with hard things, you will start to see that success.
That's how you deal with it. Everybody deals with it differently. Everybody deals with an emergency situation differently. And again, isn't the whole point of this flexible business is supposed to be that you can put it off to the side when an emergency comes up or something comes up? Isn't that supposed to be a perk of joining an MLM? At least I thought so.
Every day, you have to show up for yourself and do these things. So I really challenge you guys, please, to go read the posts about the Grow for the No. Whatever you do with a tracker, your calendar, whatever, make it your goal to hear these no's. Because when you hear all these no's, when you're talking the sponsoring conversation with people, you will begin to hear yeses. It's kind of like when you're mining and you dig, and you just keep finding rocks. Those rocks are your no. But then if you keep digging long enough and if you're motivated enough, you can find diamonds, sapphires, you can find all kinds of cool things. But you have to mine every single day. You can't give up. You can't stop. You can't take long breaks. And you can't keep saying that you need to do something and then not change the situation that you're in, because that's the definition of insanity. And you will drive yourself insane. If you keep doing the things you're doing now and you're not willing to take action, you will literally drive yourself insane and you will regret it. And I don't want you to do that, because you're too valuable, you're too amazing, and you freaking deserve this. So I need you to go out and show me this month and the months forward that you know you deserve it, that you know you're worth it, that you know you're valuable. I don't care what anybody told you growing up. They're liars. I don't care what that person on your shoulder tells you about yourself. I don't care internally what you're saying to yourself. I want you to hear it right now. You're valuable. You're worth this. You can make $10,000 a month. You can make $50,000 a month. You can make $1,000 a month. Whatever you want to do with this business, you deserve it. You're entitled to that. By working hard, you will get it. But that's the only way. I love you guys. Don't hate me for the tough love. I hope you still love me too. And I will see you guys next week. So let's go get some new teammates and let's grow this team, right? Let's go do this the real way. Let's do this. I love you guys. Bye, guys.
Bye, Scentsy lady. Well, I will say with her little ending right there about people being valuable, she is absolutely right that people are valuable, they are great, they are wonderful, and they are so much more valuable than being a part of somebody's downline in the hopes of being someone making $10,000 a month, which if we looked at income disclosure statement, which we always do, we see that people average $1,000 in an entire year. So yes, some people can do it, but those are usually people who know a lot of people who got in years ago and have been doing this for an extended amount of time. And a lot of people who are looking for this life-changing income don't have 5 years to sit around and make it work, which is usually kind of what you have to do, and that's even a maybe. And people who do it for a year, they put in all this effort, all this energy, and they notice they didn't make anything, that, is upsetting and would make them feel kind of like maybe this isn't working. But then they're told that it's their fault because they didn't message 100 people every single second of the day. 100 is such a huge number, and they act like it's not. And wasn't she supposed to break down, like, how many, I mean, I guess you could just do the math, like, 100 divided by whatever many days is in the month. But, like, wasn't she supposed to do that for us? And she didn't. She just is like, oh, you just talk to people, but it needs to be like actual conversations. So realistically, it's more than 100 people that you're reaching out to. And again, the percentage of you can maybe get 3 yeses out of talking to 100 people, a 3% yes ratio. Those are terrible, terrible odds. And it's a lot of work for 3 people, and that's a maybe. Maybe you got them to 3 people to sign up in that month, and they didn't really want to make this into a business, or they sold a little bit. They didn't, recruit anyone. So then you're starting all over the next month. And then maybe those 3 people previously, maybe 2 of them left because they decided they didn't want to do this. So now you're kind of all over again. It's a constant wheel of working and people leaving and people coming in and people leaving and people coming in, which is what they want in the MLM business structure. And that's why it is doomed for a majority at the bottom to constantly be rotating out. And again, you'd run out of human beings if every single person joined an MLM. Also, if every single person joined an MLM, then how could they thank the people at Starbucks for making, sorry, they don't thank the people at Starbucks, they thank they thank the MLM for allowing them to have this Starbucks. But if every single person is in an MLM, nobody's working at Starbucks, how can you thank the MLM? Oh, where would they do? I think I was going to say what would they do and where would they go, but I don't know why I would say where would they, well, I guess where would they go could work. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm going to just end it here. Alright, you guys, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk anything and everything Scentsy in the comments below, and until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!